Hey everyone, the Blackfoot is now done. Finally. And so now that you've seen the entire process of taking this 2016 Blackfoot and making the body look like that of the original, which was released in 1986, I just wanted to take a moment and reflect and share my feelings and thoughts about this entire process. And I call it a process because this project was documented over 3 videos that I put out, this being the third and final in the series. And if you haven't had a chance to watch the other 2, I would highly recommend, just so you can see everything I put into this throughout the process to see where we are now. And I started this back, I want to say towards the beginning of August, and I worked on it a little at a time over the last 3 months, and it's the end of October. I wasn't able to devote all my attention to this, which is why I did it in little stages here and there over the last 3 months, but I didn't realize how much effort and time actually goes into preparing, painting, and detailing an ABS plastic body. When I got my 2016 Blackfoot, which by the way was the first RC I purchased when I got back into this hobby, I just put the body together and slapped the decals on and called it a day. And since then, I've done plenty of polycarbonate bodies, and for the most part would take painting one of those with the with the masking, having to mask the insides, painting one of those any day over having to paint another ABS hard shell body. For the body, I did not prime this prior to painting. And the reason for that is because it was a new body and I feel like I didn't need to prime it. And I know some of you out there are shaking your head saying you should have primed it. But I don't know. I mean, I washed the body and I sprayed it with nice even coats. And I know some of you are thinking it might be hard to see where you're laying the paint because you're putting black paint onto a black body. But I just made sure that I just went over it with nice even coats back and forth, and I made sure I did many coats on here. And then I let it cure for about a week, and then from there I shot it with, I don't remember, 2 or 3 coats of gloss. And for the most part, the paint job came out, I don't know, pretty good. I mean, it's not a professional paint job. I don't have a paint booth. Some people make homemade ones to help minimize the amount of dust particles landing on the body. I sprayed mine outside, and from there moved it into the garage, which I think helped. But if you look closely at the body, you can see some particles that settled in the paint, and that's unfortunate. But then again, like I said, I'm not a professional painter, and for the most part, I think it does a trick. I mean, I think this is an excellent job, at least for me. So with that being said, let me grab this guy down here. Yes, this is a monster beetle. It is an original, never ran monster beetle. It's a little dusty. I've had this for about 1.5 years, maybe even more, and I keep putting it off and putting it off, and I'm definitely going to paint it. But like I said, after this, I'm a little hesitant. Don't think I'm put off by this. I'm not. I'm really pleased with how it came out. It's just that the cold weather is here, and I can't go outside and spray this. So I know it's gonna take a lot of effort. There are already a few videos online of people painting theirs and showing the process. So I'm gonna be one of those people, I guess, also, and put mine up there eventually. But until then, this is gonna sit and be waiting in line to be done. As for the sticker application, all the original sponsors are on here. I had no issues with applying them, and the Blackfoot really isn't an overly complicated RC to apply the stickers to. So altogether, I'm very pleased with how that came out. All the original sponsors are on here. BF Goodrich, Bel Ray, the Ford badging on here. If you watched my first video, you saw how I did the Ford sticker up here. I kept this a mix of original stickers from the 2016 because I wanted that high gloss finish, and I took some stickers from MCI Racing and used those pretty much, you know, the sponsors like Ford and BF Goodrich and Bel Ray. That's what I used from MCI, just so I can get that original look. So now onto the 3D printed parts. What could I say? They were friggin' awesome. Like, you would never know by looking at the hood that the Ford going across was, you know, 3D printed, cut out, glued on, and painted. Same thing with the rear tailgate. So I can't thank Ampro Engineering enough for doing this. Really gives us hobbyists the opportunity to, you know, get that nice finished look if you want to go vintage and you can't find the body, or you find one and don't want to, you know, go through the process of stripping it and repainting it. Also, the custom F-150 logo on the side, very tiny, but manageable with a pair of tweezers, as you saw me putting them on in the earlier in this video. So, was very pleased with that. Challenging though was the grill. Taking a 2016 grill and cutting this area out. Like I said in my second video, I was lucky enough to buy 2 of these, and I played around with the first one and completely nicked the crap out of it because I was cutting it out with a Dremel from the front, so the Dremel kept, you know, smacking into it and chipping around the front of the grill. So I had a second one, so I just did the opposite. I turned it over and Dremeled from the back. So this way, if I did nick the plastic, it was inside on the back. So once it came out, I was able to, in this area, score it with a hobby knife or a thicker razor blade just to smooth out the edges, and then the grill just popped right in. So there you go. All right, well, I'm glad this is completed. Like I said earlier in the video, I just wanted to take a couple minutes and share with you how I felt about how this entire, you know, project came out. If you are still here watching the video, I want to thank you for sticking through it, because I know it's a lot of talking, not the most engaging video I put out, but you know, altogether, very pleased. And if you're new to my channel and you like what you saw, please consider subscribing. And if you are one of my loyal fans, my subscribers, thank you for your support. Greatly appreciated. I promise my next video to follow will be a lot more engaging with one of my vintage RCs running. But thank you regardless, and until my next video.